Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another instant reaction episode of Silo by Story Archives. I'm Mario Busto alongside.
The other host, Zachary Newton. Welcome back.
We are back with season 2, episode 9, titled The Safeguard. I really didn't know where we were going to go with that title until we got to the very end. The absolute bombshell twist, the re-injection of my interest of what's
Yeah,
going on in these silos and into the show. We'll start at the end because it's definitely the most interesting part of the episode. And
it's the most important part of the
uh,
show, the episode.
yeah, the algorithm confronting Lucas Kyle and a little bit of shade thrown at George Wilkins, saying, I didn't speak to George Wilkins, which is good, right? I mean, because there's a little bit of preference for Mary Meadows and for Lucas Kyle
hmm
because they were IT shadows. And the question now is, what is the safeguard? Have we found out what the safeguard is? Um, I have a feeling we already know what the safeguard is.
I have a guess.
Um, does Lucas actually know what it is, or is he bluffing? I have a feeling he knows what it is as well, um, and that's what Salvador Quinn put as the code, right? So I think when
Mhm.
he says, "I need to save the silo," the question is, what is he saving it from, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
Is
are
it the,
you saving it from the safeguard? Maybe this is a scenario where the alternative is just death. It's death for everyone. So you just try to perpetuate the silo in its existence as long as you can. Let life happen.
my immediate thought is that the safeguard is like flooding,
That's what
right?
I actually wrote down for my guess, like drowning everybody.
Yeah, but they just flood the silo is my guess because the other ones, my like one of the first things I wrote when he was gonna go down to the tunnel was like when he opens that tunnel door, isn't it just gonna be like Noah's like just a flood, just coming straight through the gates from the other one. I mean, the other one is submerged in water still for the
hmm
most part. I know the pump is working to get the water out, but there's no way that pump has worked to such a degree that it's already down to the bottom.
Well,
So
the pump that you mean the pump that, Juliette turned on?
yes,
Well, I mean, that pump is not even, like, at the bottom, it's, like, just, what, a few floors down. It was just to prevent it from getting up to the IT,
exactly.
um,
So
room, but, ugh,
by trying to save the silo, he may kill the silo. So my guess is that he doesn't actually go through the tunnel anymore. Like he kind of backtracks. And I don't man, I am this is the first time all season that I wanted the next episode like right after.
see? Okay, see, when I watched you text me when you started this episode, and you were like, "Yawn," and I'm like, "I had the same feeling, but it made it up to me at the end." This episode is the first episode I've seen this season that has actually legitimately made me really desire the episode afterwards, and I contemplated looking things up, and I had to stop myself from doing it. I haven't
Yeah.
had that feeling from any episode in this show yet.
Lucas single-handedly saved this episode. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of things going on. Everything's falling off, going to hell for Bernard. He doesn't even know it yet. I mean,
Mhm.
from Knox pretty much finding out that Walker's the rat to um, this Billings, Sims, Camille, you know,
Yeah.
alliance happening. I have a feeling they'll probably be able to get Amundsen on board. Um, all these things, and it's just going underneath Bernard's nose. So I think my bet of Bernard dying before the season's end is on track. We're on
It
track.
definitely feels like a possibility. I it feels a little I mean, he would have to die in the next episode, which would feel a little abrupt.
Would it?
Um, I think it would, just a little bit. Because I still feel like I almost feel like there should have been 2 episodes left, but I'm very curious to see how we're gonna round this out into one more episode. Because I feel like the whole Lucas going down to the bottom of the silo and seeing this door-looking thing. I say door-looking thing because I don't know what's behind it. Is it a tunnel to another silo, or is it just a shit ton of water?
Well,
I
the other thing I wrote down was it's 18. It's not silo one.
yeah.
So what if it's surrounded by multiple tunnels? Maybe this is not the only tunnel. Maybe it leads to two or three different silos. He doesn't actually end up in the one Juliette's in, you know?
Yeah.
I think we got another question answered,
Hmm.
which is the whatever it is that haunted Mary Meadows for her entire life, pretty much,
Yeah.
Judge Meadows, was definitely this encounter with the algorithm. This
Hmm.
was what it was. Um, Now, maybe it was some other. I got somebody like screaming outside, like witnessing a live. Good lord,
Well, hopefully there's nothing bad out there. But you're very right about
I
Meadows,
think
but
somebody
also
initiated
that
the safeguard
explains.
outside my apartment. Anyways,
Are you okay?
I don't know. I'll check outside. I'll let you know if the algorithm just annihilated everybody out there.
Well, it explains why Meadows couldn't tell Bernard um, what Salvador Quinn's messages were
That's
about.
exactly right. And now the
Yeah.
question is why? What was so important? Like this is now another Lucas is now in a whole new territory of exclusion now.
Mm,
Like he's more important than Bernard for knowing this information now. So it's crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, there's literally silos of information between characters, and now even though Bernard's in charge, Lucas has probably the most key bit of information. What is he gonna do with it? What does it mean? How do you bypass the safeguard? Is it
can you?
possible? Can you even?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a feeling the safeguard is what we saw in the other silo 17. I think it's that they flood the silo from bottom to the top, and that's why everybody had to run out of the silo probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Remember
that's what I would imagine.
we always said, like, why the hell would they all just go out there at once? Why not just do one at a time? Perhaps there was, you know, a motivating factor, like water rising to the
Yeah.
top.
Stay and there's certain death, go and you might live. I mean, yeah, I could understand why everyone would run outside, or almost everyone, Solo stayed there along with some other ragtag group of people.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like, you know, that whole situation resolved itself in one episode. Like up until the very tail end of the last episode, you didn't know anyone else was there. I mean, I suspected. Turns out there was,
Oh, no, no.
and then it all
Apparently,
clears up in an episode.
there's a whole city in there. Just
Well, I mean, it's a
whole
city of like 4 people.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, maybe there could have been one person, you get me? But no, there's
Mhm.
4 people. No, 5
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Well,
5 people.
you've got the couple, you've got the other girl that talks about eating rats, and then you have the baby.
That's how you classify her, the eating rats girl?
Yeah, I mean, that's all I could remember.
What a
And
sad
then
existence for that girl. What do they blame her for exactly? Like, needing to eat? Like,
yeah,
what?
literally, she's another mouth to feed. They call her an eater, I think is what they call her, you know,
Seems a bit
because all
rough.
she does is eat, taking
Yeah,
away our food.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Seems a little rough. Seems a little rough to
Well,
me.
yeah, but with a
Alright.
nice little heart to heart with Solo, we all got in and shared some ice cream and music.
I do love that bit. I mean, it felt like a very good poetic ending for Solo's story here. Like, hey,
Mm,
now he's just you know, he's the nice guy who's sort of ushering in these people, showing them a new world of technology. He's
mhm,
kind of just like their tour guide to the old world, and I think it's a good fit for him. He also
mhm,
gets to find out that Juliet loves him. That's the only reason she could have left. She could have put the suit on and left, but
mhm.
because she cares about him now and she's a good person, um, she didn't do that. She went and saved his life and also saved the people's lives in there. So
Yeah,
perhaps I was
and
wrong. Maybe Juliet is the mayor we need.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think our previous assessment of that was correct. I think Juliet can be a very great friend. I don't think she'd be a great mayor. Um, I mean, look at how quickly she ran away. What like last season, trying to investigate things. So I don't think
Dude,
she could handle the pressure like somebody like Billings could.
well, I'm starting to have this haunting suspicion that um, the algorithm is probably in charge of everything. Um, that is kind of the where I'm heading with this.
Hmm.
If you can have this sort of what would you call this? There's something that people are freaking out about right now, which is artificial general intelligence. Like there, people are freaking out about it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think OpenAI released something that was like I didn't watch it, but it was like a massive update in that department. Uh, But if you have this artificial intelligence, essentially, because that's what the algorithm seems to be, to
Mhm.
sense, to have the ability to sense that someone's at that tunnel, and then to identify them, identify their clearance, and also have like know their whole history for the most part, know who visited the tunnel before.
Mhm.
Um, and then it's like negotiating with you. Like, I'm gonna talk to you. I didn't talk to this guy. I'm gonna tell you if you tell anybody about this, we're gonna activate the safeguard. Do you know what the hell a safeguard is? So like it's doing like intimidation, tactics. So
Feels pretty sentient to me.
yeah, so I'm starting to get like this kind of gloomy feeling that like how do you if up top you're gonna die and down low you're gonna and you're gonna die in the silo, then what do you do? So maybe my old theory that they got poisoned, that up top is okay, but they get poisoned somehow. Maybe that can come back somehow. I don't know.
Well, I still think that I think there's some elements of that's probably still plausible. I mean, remember Solo earlier in this season talking about this dust that blew outside, and
Yeah,
that's when everybody seemed to drop.
yeah,
Um, maybe there's something there, something that's activated by, I would assume, this sentient bot, whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
uh, and it just kills everyone.
I have no idea. Or maybe it's to the room before they go outside. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Should we
That'd
go
probably be the easiest way to control it.
should
Go
we
ahead.
go through some comments? We got a ton of comments, man, on the last episode. And I've been wary of reading these because we've gotten some notifications from people that say that there's like asshats in the comments that are pretending to be like, brilliant theory makers, and in fact they're just like dropping verbatim stuff from the book. I
Sure.
won't be able to know. We won't be able to know either way, whether it's a spoiler or not.
Yeah.
So if you're not a book reader, then it shouldn't bother you because we can neither confirm nor deny which of these is true. So we could go through them. We might read an asshole's comment or two. We cannot decipher. They're hiding in plain sight, like the algorithm, waiting for us to go to the tunnel to read their spoilery, trolling ass comment. But we'll thank all of you, even the asshats who leave the comments, because we actually just officially qualified for the first phase of the YouTube partner program. Can you put like a
Mhm.
applause, like a cheesy kid applause, in the
Yeah, we'll see. It depends on how
yeah,
much time's
yeah,
available.
let's do that. And yeah, so we're in the first part of that. Help us get to 1,000. We can get to the next phase and learn how to continue to grow this podcast. Should we do comments now? Like, there's a lot. I'm not
Why
gonna read them all.
not? I mean, like, I don't think there's really that much else that happened in this
We're not
episode.
talking about anything else. You'll have to tune into the deep
Yeah.
dive, which will be in our same outfit we're wearing now because we're gonna record it immediately after this.
No show.
Tobias, thank you for constantly feeding the algorithm. Quite literally, this comment took a different life this week, and now I'm starting to think maybe Tobias is the algorithm. I don't know.
Mm.
Vittorio, thank you. Nice podcast, nice discussion. I will come back for next episodes. Thank you, Vittorio. Okay, we got some theories here. All right, well, this is funny ass SpongeBob thumbnail. I think the syndrome was cured by being in the down deep and drinking their water. She even holds up the glass while making the comment. Think it, thinking about it. If hold on, think about it. They have things that make people forget in the water. Can't really have it as strong in the down deep if you really want the engineers. I cannot read your writing, dude. To how to run mechanical so their water is a little cleaner, so people aren't having side effects, aka the syndrome. Could be a thing that their water's pure. They are closer to the bottom. We
Mhm.
do know that there's like a water well at the bottom. That could be a thing. Could be. I'll say side note. What is Billings letting his wife with another man like all day? Like, what is up with that? I wouldn't let my wife just treating it. First and foremost, my theory last week about her going crazy. Patrick Kennedy is like on the path of trying to make Kathleen Billings go crazy. But not to mention, Billings is just like, yeah, honey, go and clean up this man's wounds all day by yourself. Like, yeah,
I
go
mean, yeah,
go
let's
nurse
not
him.
forget this guy did firebomb the police
Yeah,
station,
yeah, yeah. Let's
um,
totally leave my wife with like a confirmed like domestic
with a
terrorist.
baby.
Yeah, yeah. With the baby too. Yeah, come on, dude, give me a break.
Not the
Yeah,
brightest decision.
yeah, yeah. Give me a break. I know, give me a break. Okay. G9 G99. The pressure at 20 feet below the water is only about 10. This is, by the way, these are all comments for the previous episode. So, greater than the sea. Okay, making it impossible. Okay, pretty much the whole Ben situation with Juliette. She has tremendous plot armor. Agreed. Her whole quest and arc this season has felt like a side quest. Kind of agree with you there. Yeah. Okay. In season 1, the Flamekeeper said they were dosing the water, that they also gave her drugs to forget. So these magical drugs to forget seem to be an actual thing. Maybe that's part of the safeguard, Zach. Maybe that's part of it.
Making everybody forget everything, just hit the reset button and not kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it could be plausible.
I think this person was wrong. Walker's playing Bernard because they did not know where judicial holding cells were located. They now know where they are because Bernard showed Walker. Okay. I think you're wrong. I think Walker's like, now she's gonna get saved by Knox. Because Knox knows. Which, by the way,
Mhm.
Knox, remember we had this conversation last week about Knox and Shirley and them both being pretty much the same person. I think
Yeah.
Knox is by far more has his own personality compared to Shirley. I mean, this episode, Shirley roasts Billings for essentially doing the exact same thing she was begging him to do last episode. So
Yeah, I can't take her seriously, man. I
she's
I just can't.
I can't imagine like the actress who plays her didn't read that and was like, "What? I was just pleading him to join us, and now I'm like, well, what the hell are you gonna do? How are you gonna help us?"
Mhm.
It's like, anyways, Solo did tell Jules to go back down in the water if she got the bend, so it's not like that came out of nowhere. I think the idea is that the air is compressed and supposed to be pumped down through the tube, not Jules just sucking air through it. Also, once a certain buoyancy is reached, it doesn't take much skill to make it to the surface. Which luckily, there's just, I mean, dude, it's just within Cells Interleague. I like your name, Blade Runner. Look, I just think there's a lot of reality. Suspend your disbelief when it comes to Juliette. There's just everything has to go right for Juliette to survive in these scenarios. And at a
Mm.
certain point, it does feel like, oh, she needs the code to get into the vault. Oh, there's a chalkboard with all the codes on it. Oh, she needs to go underwater. She can't swim. Oh, but she's gonna learn how to swim, and then she's gonna breathe through a tube. Like, we love the show, we love Juliette, but come on. Next comment agrees. Juliette definitely has crazy plot armor. She's like a Fallout protagonist. It definitely has been stretching the imagination on things she's done and survived. It's still reasonable and not that impossible. It's just a show after all. Like, for example, I don't know if these kids are in the book that are in this thing, whatever the guy's name, Rick and Tess.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they're in the book or not, but to conveniently, I said earlier in the season the way the rope snapped was weird. That was the only time I was like, maybe there is somebody because the way it snapped. But
Mhm.
I thought it was the person in the vault who ran out and did it. Um, then I don't know if I said this out loud, but I did write it in my notes that the way when she was underwater and she grabbed onto the floating device that was there,
Mhm.
I thought that it was kind of uh,
Convenient.
well, I saw a ripple in the water, so it felt almost like there was somebody who either put it there, you know what I mean? Like, so they did explain all of that, but I wasn't confident enough to say, "Oh, I think there might be a person who threw that there."
Mm.
Um, so they did do all of that, and then that one shot that they did between the railings, which was your key thing that you were holding on to for the whole
There was a
season.
couple of them, okay? There was a couple shots. I swear to God, there was a couple
I
shots.
just I just feel like there was only one, and usually that shot, if you're trying to show that somebody's there, is sort of handheld,
Mhm.
and you're kind of doing it in a way because it's almost like someone's looking through. That one
Yeah,
felt too steady for me, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough. But
maybe.
we have a ton more comments to go through here. We're not going to go through them all, but we want to thank you all for the comments. There is somebody who got mad at me for not liking MythBusters. And then there's always
I saw that.
there was another comment. There was like, "Let Zach finish his points." I was like, "No, Zach, I will not let you finish your points. I will not." And there was another
That's
one that
okay. I'll take the bet wins.
was like, "Do you guys even like the show?" Like, no, we've decided to cover each episode with two podcasts for the last year. So we literally hate the show. Yeah, we can't stand it. This is what we do. Imagine what we do for the things we love. Jesus. I mean, some people. I mean, I'm my new philosophy with some of these comments is like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like there's just like usually I would just kind of ignore them, but now it's just kind of fun to go at it. So, anyways, I think that's it for the instant reaction. Maybe we'll cover more comments on the next one, but we'll see you on the deep dive.
We'll catch you later. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Silo by Story Archives. You can find this podcast anywhere you find podcasts. And if you want links to
Oh,
contact us or visit our social profiles,
I have to
hit up our website.
say one last thing because Zach doesn't look at analytics as much as he should.
I do look, but go
Okay,
ahead. Sure.
but I was looking, and It says 72% of our watchers on YouTube are not subscribed.
Oh,
And if we're hitting 1,000, 15 or like 1,500 views per episode, if you 70% can just subscribe, we can cross even less than that. I think even less than that, we can cross to the next program partner, so we can actually monetize the channel. So if just like 40% of that 70%,
30%. Yeah.
please, if you like what we're doing, we're going to cover Severance right after this. I think you'll like that too. So
Oh, I'm so excited for that show.
all right.
Anyways, I'll round out. Website is soapbox.house. That's it. All right. Thank you. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.